stand up to your friends. It's like, why would you, if they're your friends, why are you standing up to them? Why are they fucking mistreating you to where you have to fucking stand up for yourself? That's not a friend.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that also like just gains respect for you. You know what I mean?
But that's more just like a characteristic trait of like how you should deal with everybody in your life, not like relationships, girls, friends, family. Don't let fucking anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing with like people tolerate way too much, and that goes back to being like living the comfortable. Like he's probably just comfortable being the beta, you know.
It's very it's very comfortable to like not have to go seek out new friends and like go put yourself out there and start new conversations with girls you've never met, because then you're like putting your actual like self out there. Like no one knows who you are, so like you are like basically a new person in this conversation to that person. How are they going to perceive you and stuff? And like, bro, you don't want to get walked over in any aspect of life.
Of course, why would you?
Like in anything. So like if you have friends that are walking over you, you truly have to sit down with yourself and be like, what am I doing?
But I'm sure she's like feeding into that, like, oh, you deserve this, you're a little piece of shit, you know. Like she doesn't seem like she's helping that.
This is what this is the dynamic of their relationship. How I look at it is that they have done so much fucked up shit to each other that they have to like take a break. They at least take a break, at least take time away from each other, literally physically, because they can't. Like she follows him everywhere. She goes to work with him and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like
separation anxiety times 100.
Yeah, exactly. And that is just like, that gives me anxiety just thinking about having to be so like wrapped up with someone and like rely on someone so much, because it's just like, bro, that you are gonna crumble.
So I actually had a like very like kind of not similar relationship, but it was like her just more leeching onto me, like physically, emotionally, financially. Like I dated her, like this was my freshman year where I started dating her, second semester, and we hung out like I think it was like 9 or 10 consecutive days before I had to go back to Texas State. And then like at that point she was already like super emotionally invested, and that stemmed from her parents just like not really loving her too much. Like at that point I feel like I cared more about her than her own parents. Yeah. And that's very early on. But that just was so eventually like in that summer I asked her to move in with me.
Was this your ex?
Yeah.
It's just so fucked how like everybody in your life dictates how you kind of are. Like if your parents, if 100%. You're like you have a shitty upbringing and stuff, like you start to like latch on to like people who will give you the time of day or anything, and it's just like you never really get that sense of just like standing on your own 2 feet, you know, like being your own person, and like because you always like
that's why it's so important to travel, man.
Yeah.
You know how much like when I travel and shit, or when me and her travel, like you know how much like I come back here to the US to like the real life now, and I'm like I can literally go do shit by myself and I'll be okay. Like, I'm taking like I feel more like I'm growing.
Yeah, because you can put yourself out there, and it's like, oh, I don't have to have a fucking friend to go do this thing, because like I can go meet someone out there. I can go meet people out there. And even if you don't, like if you're gonna go do something like go to a show or whatever, like that's cool too. Like if you enjoy music to that extent, you go by yourself for sure.
But like I've realized so much about like, because I used to always kind of doubt my communication skills for some reason. I don't know, just like you know what I mean. And then like I go to another country, and then I have all these new friends that I meet, and it's like so easygoing, and like you know you can talk to people, you can tell people don't like you, but like, bro, we literally like this guy is trying to give me a job at his that I met in Costa Rica. Like,
just like
I still connect with people that I've
just
met.
like that, out of a conversation you just stem from you on a vacation. Boom, now you have a job opportunity.
And I come back and I see it in my house, and I'm like, why do I doubt my communication skills when like I've proved myself plenty of times when I go to another country and just meet just random people that like I don't even fucking know when we become all friends. You know what I mean? And we hang out for 3-4 days in another country, and then like I know for a fact that they can message me right now and be like, yo, I'm coming to Texas. I'll be like, fuck yeah,
dude, that's over. Right there. That's like one of the biggest things that like a wealthy person, you can take away all their assets, everything, as long as you give them a phone. Their network is what gives them wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Really, man.
Just
networking is like the most important thing to financial, to all of it.
Anything, bro.
That's why we have to, like, humans have to have other humans. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna do it by myself. You have to have like validation from your peers and people around you. You know?
Yeah, it builds confidence.
Bro, that's why this
and validation.
Bro, this job that I applied to, dude, and like I had an interview or whatever, like they talked about a new program that they're doing that, you know now, like nowadays, you apply because you have, a college degree or you have experience and all this shit. Like what they're trying, this new thing is you just apply with your resume, but you don't put, like, if you went to school, you don't put your name, you don't put your race, it's all biased. And they literally hired 12 people like that, and they're like one of the best people at their place.
What would be on their resume?
I think just whatever
jobs they've done.
Yeah, I guess like past experience, so like they know it's not like just a random like
right.
unemployed person, like actually like someone that has worked. But they don't do like if you went to school, what school did you go? Like nothing like that, no GPA, nothing like that, like not even your name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like they just do your email and that's it. And then they contact you, you got an interview, and then from there they just talk to you.
Yeah, because they want to know, like, are they also able, like, to work with you and not, like, be tired of you? Like, if you're gonna work with someone all the time, you're gonna want to like that person.
Yeah,
yes.
Bro, you can tell, bro. Like when I did the Zoom, dude. Like these are people that like since COVID happened, they're all work remote, so some of them haven't even met.
Yeah.
And you can just tell that they click. They're like talking and laughing, and I'm like, bro, y'all haven't even met, and y'all.
But
can,
they're like their best friend.
Chat like that, exactly, and that kind of appealed to me even more for that job. I'm like, hell yeah, like they all treat each other as friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not about performance at your job. It's about like kind of work with this guy next to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that makes you perform.
It is about the performance, but how do you perform with all the people around you, not just like yourself?
Like right. Like I'm saying, like that will help you perform.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're in an environment where like I'm not contradicting myself with you, and we kind of like I don't like him because like he's just like it's always kind of negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you kind of like are always thinking about it in the back of your head, and you're not focusing. But if everybody's like helping you and talking to you,
and you're like focused on the task in front of y'all, not just all the outside noise and shit.
And you can have fun doing the task together instead of like it could be a group thing.
Badass.
I think that like if every company now like kind of like throws it a little bit, like involves it in and gives people opportunity that didn't have the luxury to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like they do have the communication skill, they do have the vibe that maybe connects like that company.
A lot of companies do that every now and then because they do realize how important
a lot
that
more
is.
companies are doing
like Google does that.
Yeah, I just went to the internship for the second time, and that's exactly like the point of the movie.
Funny movie,
because two guys that are just sales go into a tech job. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, but they're like out here trying to try something new.
Yeah,
and like the main guy who is like in charge of everything, he's like doubting them, but he was like in that position himself many years ago, so he still has high expectations.
Yeah,
and he's just like kind of shitting on them throughout the movie, but they're all like working as a team. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they were just providing like kind of like humor at first, but then it evolves to like actually learning.
Yeah, 100%.
And then being able to talk to people, helping them, like because a lot of them like who are just like good at computers aren't too good at communicating, and so they like help each other, and then at the end they get the job because the very last like task that they needed was to like sell Google to like a mom and pop shop and be like, you can expand using Google, you don't have to be constricted to like this amount of audiences. Like we know you like to keep your authenticity. And like want to keep it like you're it's kind of just like for yourself, and like you're providing good food, quality food to quality people, but more people can enjoy that, and you can expand and just expand your business. That's all it is. You don't have to give up that authenticity. Yeah. And so like since they had that sales experience, they were able to sell it to them. Yeah. Without those two guys, they would have failed everything, not gotten the jobs or anything. So that's just like they prove their worth.
Yeah. I think Google did start it kind of. Maybe they made it publicly. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't start the whole thing of like, let's just hire people that maybe don't have that educational background.
I don't know if it's Google. I can't remember like what big company. It might be Tesla, but there are like a lot of big companies coming out now to where you don't have to have a college degree to get hired and stuff.
Because I don't think they started it, but I think they like publicly made it like known. You know what I mean? Because I remember like back in the day, it's like, oh, in Google you play like what, like Nerf and shit and like kind of type shit. You know what I'm saying? And like that kind of like
a playground.
That's just a fun environment.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fun, like you want to work into a fun environment. Like I remember I went to go apply for this call center, and I was just like, oh my god, dude, there's no way. Bro, there's no way.
You know, once you know, like
there's no way, dude. Like, it seems like it's a cool, they have a cool little common room, and it's a cool space for everybody, but, like, the people who work here are just so reserved, and, like, that's the type of thing, is, like, who do you want to surround yourself with? It's like people who are doing action without alignment doesn't really give them an end goal, or people who have an end goal and who are aligned, and then start to act based off all of that. Off of the morals, off of like where they want to be in life, not just a paycheck, not just surviving, because that's how we are as humans, is like we're programmed to just survive and stuff, and like being to survive, that's a lot of, it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what you get to. It's like, let me be comfortable, let me do that, but that's why you have to seek discomfort.
Comfortability is such a limit on like what you can do, and like happiness. It just like, most of the people I know, like my best friend, for example, he kind of like plays the victim role and is just feeling bad for himself, working a job that gets him like, $12 an hour, and which isn't bad. But if you're like a full-grown adult and wanting to accomplish things, like you gotta like do better for yourself.
And that's the thing, is that's why it can be so overwhelming, because like if you do want to get somewhere in life, you have a certain picture for yourself in life.
Yeah. But
you look at where you are now, and like that journey and that path you want to get on to where it's going to take you is overwhelming and stuff, but you have to do things that just aren't overwhelming at first. And like that will build you tiny little confidence to finally, like, for you to be your own person and stand on your own 2 feet, and finally be just be confident in yourself. And like that is just really it is through all aspects of life, everything, through the people you surround yourself with, the time, the things you do. You can manage your time.
And I think that's the beauty of stock market as well, because let's say you got lucky enough to like pop off and make tens of thousands after putting a couple of $100s in, or like Darian, for example, he started with $700 the beginning of the year, already like 5 times his account.
Look at that.
It's just like trial and error, and then you see what works for you, and you just build on that, and you slowly, gradually get there. Like, I'm sure by the end of next year, Darian's gonna fucking just be like PJ Matlock. You know what I'm saying?
Really,
Like, he can get there. I can see it if he already was able to do that with just kind of shits and gigs.
Exactly.
And it's just shit like that. You gotta start baby steps. Like, obviously the end goal just sounds like, it just gives you super anxiety and stress. Like,
it's all about risk management, man.
It's all about risk management.
And that's why, like, I fail.
Yeah.
It's because I get greedy.
Yeah.
And I want that extra 5%
to
go up, and it's like, it doesn't, and then it goes down like 20%, and I'm like, dude,
you just lost $800.
Yeah.
I should have taken that when I was high.
Exactly. And it's like what fucking those people from Atlas always talk about is, don't marry the stock.
Yeah.
Date it, and then break up with it. Don't marry it.
That's funny.
Speed dating, bro.
Exactly. And get out and then get into
the stock.
Be a stock whore, bro. Be a stock slut. Bro.
Yeah, dude. That's why the day traders are making so much, because they know that. They know stocks are bound to go up and bound to go down, so that's why you can't marry it. It's unrealistic.
I heard their podcast, dude, and like literally, like how they started was 5% gains, 5% gains, 5% gains, 5% gains. It took you a while, about 5% gains, and now you're comfortable with 5%, and you're always gonna get that 5% gain. Oh, let's make it 10%.
Yeah,
10% gains.
My risk management, you build a strategy based on that.
No matter what, it gets to 10, sold.
Yeah,
and then your risk management is lower, because you're not like, oh, let's wait 12%, and then like it fucking.
And then it just dips out of nowhere because they halt it,
exactly.
and all these people in power just like they're like, fuck you, like you're obviously running the game right now, so we gotta like hinder that.
It just can fluctuate the market. How they want to make money, and like if you're a little guy, you gotta see that shit. You gotta see it.
Yeah. And the thing about it's like everybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's not a thing about like, oh, you need to know this shit. Like, dude, everybody can do it because it's a learning process along the way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's all about like, and now like, there's so much information out there that you can skip a lot of the educational part.
Yeah.
By just like.
Twitter, honestly, following what other fucking people are doing.
Yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of those stocks go up 50%, but you don't have to get that 50%. You can get that 10% or 20%, and you're still making money.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like
that's the whole thing with comparing.
Yeah.
Goes back to that. You're like, fuck, that could have been me.
Damn, that motherfucker made 10,000. That can be me. Like, let me stay in this shit. It's like, no, you just lost. You're 800. You just won.
The thing is like that could be you. In freaking in a year, whenever that capital that you put in, it's more money that you're getting back because you multiply it.
Right.
It's such an emotional game too.
It
like
is, bro. You get so mad.
People.
Fuck yeah, because that's what's gonna like.
I get so mad, bro.
Make you.
That's what I'm saying. With the highest, you're like, fuck, I'm so high right now. And what if I get higher? Like, I don't want to take out and like I could have made an extra 5K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
But that's and I fucking knew it too. I should have pulled out.
That's
I was like 15K up, and I was like, this is probably where I should get out. But let's see where it goes. I'm like, just a little more, a little more, and then that's when it
went crazy.
And then it did. I'm like, okay, I'm still like positive,
and it's still going.
Still positive. Now I'm negative. Now I gotta hold.
Bro, and there's a moment where like I was stuck. I couldn't do any moves because I got stuck doing that, and all my stocks were down, and I don't want to put my money out because
you
I don't want to lose.
That money,
But then sometimes you just gotta fucking risk it for the biscuit and fucking lose that $1,000 and put it somewhere else and then make that $1,000 back.
That's exactly what I did. Before CEI, like to get into CEI.
That's what I did too. I lost it again. I made my money back and I lost.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, for those was cool.
Yeah.
For those wise, that's on us. But now we're learning, and that's what the whole point is. It sucks that learning costs us thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But that's what
you learn.
That's why you learn. And like you said, sometimes it takes that big emotional fuck you to be you gotta get on your feet.
I'm telling you, man, if you have $1,000 to like put it somewhere, put it on Shiba Inu.
You think it's gonna blow up, honestly?
Well, it's gonna blow up in like a couple years. It's gonna. But the thing is, like, if it goes to $1,
if it goes to $1, I'm retiring, bro.
I'm telling you, $1,000 right now in Shiba Inu is like $20 million. If it goes to $1,
Jesus fuck.
And for a crypto to get to $1 is super possible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just definitely takes a while because XRP has been. Hasn't XRP been like fluctuating to get up to $1?
Bro, Ripple has been like since like Bitcoin was like before Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And think about if you would have put when it was like 10 cents or 2 cents. If you would have put that $1,000 back then.
Yeah.
And then it went up to like 130.
Yeah.
Imagine now you would have $40 million.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like what I'm trying to say is like. Sometimes like our short-term goal is like I want to get 40 million right now. Because trust me, every day that I look at it, I'm like, "Where's my 40 million?"
Yeah,
and it's like 2 cents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like chill out. You know what I mean? But like, what if in 5 years I leave that shit in there and I made my worst financial struggle and I open my Coinbase account and it's at $1 and I'm at 40 million.
And that could have been so many people now with Bitcoin who invested it years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
But they just like forgot about the account, forgot they had it. They have like hundreds of Bitcoin that are just lost.
Oh my god, those stories are terrible.
Yeah.
The guy who like.
He threw his drive.
The drive one, and then the one where because you have 10, you have 10 password
attempts
that you can put in, and this guy he forgot his password, and he's at his 9th. I don't know if he's tried his 10th, but he's at his last in his account, bro, is like 250 million.
Yeah.
So,
like the Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoins. Yeah. So like, so like he can, so he's like he can sit with the fact knowing that he is a millionaire, that he can't touch it, or he can go for that last attempt and then lose all of that.
Yeah, fuck. See, but there's actually services out there that will help you like
Find your password.
find your at least like your Bitcoin wallet. But if he has it on a Google Drive,
He has it on a drive. Yeah.
I don't know. The drive one,
that's
that guy,
all.
he threw it in a landfill. Yeah, it was in a landfill, and like
No.
he's like,
I'm
he's going through
dumpster
the landfill.
diving,
Literally, bro.
No, that's why like this whole Bitcoin shit, bro. It's so inflated because there's so many Bitcoins lost. Like,
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah,
much
So they
exactly.
don't even
lost.
really know
They
what
only
the
made a
value
certain
is.
amount.
Exactly. Like there's so many like Bitcoins like lost that like what is the actual value? But it's all inflation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're making money, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but that,
I'm
like,
telling you, man, bro. Even if it goes to 50 cents, bro, that's 20 million. Even if it goes to what 25 cents.
So what? It's
That's
at
$1
like
million.
it's at like half a cent right
It's
now.
it's at like
you
2
just put in like
cents.
$100 or like a dollar now,
Right.
Because it's like a point zero 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 like two.
Yeah, if you put like even like $800, bro, like if it goes up to like 25 cents,
Yeah,
which
you
is
just
fucking
made, like,
possible.
30,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just hold, like you just like some like a little bit of money that you don't care about. Just fucking
Exactly.
do it now, and it may pay off.
This-
It may not. It may.
This millionaire that I was reading his little clips and shit, and he talks about how you should never have a savings account.
Yeah, I don't.
you
I
should
think
never-
that's the
you're-
stupidest
You
shit
should
ever.
never
man.
have money in a
That
bank.
money should always be working for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should
that's
never
what
have
Grant
money in
Cardone
Make
a
your
says,
bank.
money
too.
work
Yeah.
for you.
Because he said all banks are bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just use your money.
They
I
just
mean,
use
just
your
look at
money
the
to
fucking
make money.
U.S.
Yeah.
We're in debt. Like, how the
Yeah.
fuck is any bank gonna be
Yeah.
not bankrupt?
And like
Yeah.
that's why I don't have my dad is like get a savings account. I'm like fuck no, bro.
Yeah.
Stocks are my savings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because like worst case, you like
You sell your
that's your
stocks, you
savings.
take your liquidity out, and then boom, that's your money right there.
Yeah.
Instead of having it in a savings account, just sitting
Yeah.
there
Or like
eat it.
0.002% a year. What kind of
Some
shit
of
is
them don't
that?
even give you anything.
Yeah.
Some of them they just say you got your money safe, but you can only take money out once a month from your savings. Like for like ADS, you can
Yeah.
only take like money out like maybe once or twice a month or like a week or some shit like that from her savings. Like they don't even restrict your money so you don't take it out, so they still have money in their account, like in the bank. It's so fucked up.
That's so fucked.
He said that is the worst thing to have it's fucking
Savings.
savings.
Yeah, I read all the like whenever I was
It's a
reading it,
scam.
like even when I was like fucking 16, opening a bank, I was like, what kind of shit is this? Like, why would I ever have money in here? Why would I start when I have to leave $300 in there forever?
Yeah.
that makes
Exactly.
no
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Like when I opened a Chase account and they were like, you have to have a minimum of 1,500 in your account, and if you don't, we start charging you a fee of $14 like a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
This is my money. Like,
Yeah.
What if I just have it cash?
Yeah, what
And
about
like-
a fucking family emergency,
And
bro?
I think like I did that because they said if you put over 1,500, they give you $600 like as a bonus. So I did it because that's why I got my paintball gun.
Yeah.
Because I used that money to buy a paintball
That's
gun.
hilarious.
And I got the $600, but I have to wait 90 days to close the account. You know what I mean? And then like I kind of used my card one time to buy something, and like I forgot that I went under like 1,500.
That's
And then
nuts.
like I looked again, and it's like minus 14, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's so.
And then like I called and they're like, yeah, you need to. I was like, what? Like this is my account. Like you're
That's
using my
cheeks,
money.
bro.
You know what I mean? So I just took it all out.
But that's what happens when you sign this shit.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
it's just like those rules. It's like that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
people
make
do
sense.
it. People
Yeah.
do it, and that's how they make money is their fees.
I mean, people hear Chase and they're like, "Oh, that's a good bank," or Wells Fargo, and they all have their own little things. That's why a lot of people like I go to Whitport. They're like smaller. They don't do all that bullshit at all.
Like small banks?
I could be broke. Like have $0 in there.
Yeah.
They don't charge you.
Like national banks or whatever, right?
yeah. It's a
Something
national
called-
bank.
Yeah. Those actually have great deals for like credit cards and shit.
Yeah.
Like
I need to honestly
that
get a
deal.
credit card, bro.
You don't have one?
No, I need to get one
I
ASAP.
have to. You should. Yeah.
I need to.
Because your credit, bro, like builds up so fucking fast, dude. And you'll be able to buy a house like you'll be able to buy a house now with no credit card, but your interest rates will be so high because they think that you're not able to you've never had a payment.
You don't have any proof.
You don't have any payment history. So like when I bought my car interest is actually pretty high. It's 10%, which is fucking high for a car, because I never had a payment history. So they're like, should we trust this guy when we've never seen if he can actually pay monthly something, even though you're making X amount of money? You know what I mean? So now that I have a credit card, I've had it for a while, I can do a refinance. I still have to do like a down payment, and it will go down to like 1%.
Yeah,
compared to
that's crazy.
Shit ton of money. That's like $5,000 that I'd be saving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I feel like obviously, clearly, our fucking education shit is fucked. Like they need to prioritize, like fucking financial shit, because that's what our world lives on. Like we live off of money. With like
Hands McGee.
no hands McGee.
Well, it's because like the educational system was built up like during the Industrial Revolution, and that was like to create workers and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like to create the working minded, is the working class, and like the working class just will never be rich, because what the rich do is they think.
Yeah.
They think and they solve problems.
Yeah.
And working class is they just literally work for their money. They go clock in, this is my set amount of money, this is what I'm getting, and they don't really have a goal or other goals in line to get a higher financial. So they're just always trapped in that kind of system of like getting money, being able to spend for, survival purposes, and then
and a lot of people don't like smoking like weed or psychedelics because it makes them think, and they realize, like you said, it's you're like so present and your own
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. They're like, man, fuck all of that. Like, I'm just not gonna do the drug again. But instead of like confronting those thoughts and creating a solution to all their like life problems, they're just like, I just won't think and be comfortable.
I'm a huge victim of that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I get high because sometimes like I do confront my problems and I have a great time.
Yeah,
and there's other times where I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, why did I do this? Like,
I'm
not having a good time because I'm overthinking everything and I'm not confronting the problems and being like, I can do it. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm probably like...
Every time I get in that state of mind, I always use that as an opportunity. Yeah. Like, always be like, dude, I have a big opportunity here to overcome something huge.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're sitting here and you're just, like, literally like, I can't get out of it, I can't get out of it. If you can get out of it, that is huge. That's huge. No matter how you get out of it.
No matter how small it is or big.
Exactly. I've taught myself that with psychedelics.
Yes.
So I used to go straight in and not come back. And now, like, I'm like, I can try and get out. And I think it's just like, what's going on with your life? Like, like when we had that relationship with, like, those two friends that we had.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, like, now that we don't, dude, like...
It's like there's so much more clarity
it's
now.
It's like the happiest, like, I've been in, like, a while.
Because you know, like, you knew that what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, you needed to separate yourself, and y'all weren't.
It was also just that negativity is, like, out. Like, before it was, like, I'm around.
But, like,
things,
if you're thinking that you need to do something, and you're not doing that stuff, and you knew that, like, surrounding myself with this person is not healthy for me. It's just not.
Yeah.
And, like, you knew that.
Yeah.
But
you true. But I did it.
And then, like, after you did it, how good do you feel now?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I remember I used to smoke whenever I was friends with them, and, like, I would get into those negative states. Like, and now
when you smoke,
you're
just like, I don't have that
because you're happier.
Yeah,
that shit. So like, it's not a thought.
I'm, like, enjoying the actual, like, relaxation of it and being able to escape a little bit of reality and just relax because I had a good day at whatever I was doing.
Yeah, because the attentions of them. You were like, if you get in that heightened state of mind, you're like, what are your real intentions?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
what
like,
are you
questioning everything.
Exactly.
You're psychoanalyzing everyone. And
that's good though. That's good.
The
psychoanalyze is very good, but it can be detrimental. Thinking can just be detrimental to you. It's just about, like, if you see it, and that's what it is.
You gotta stop ignoring it. And you gotta stop ignoring the red flags. And a lot of times, like you said, in those relationships, you don't want to give them up because you've invested so much time. And you don't want to. That goes. In emotion, like, you have all these experiences. Like, I can't just let that go. And that goes with just relationships, like a boy or girl, boy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to break up with someone. Like,
that's why the
couple that
communication with, like, that person is just so paramount, like so paramount. It's just like you have to know what they want, and they have to know what you want.
You have to know what you want as well.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying is like you also have, like, if you are going to get in a relationship like that, you have to take the other person's feelings, wants, and needs in account for sure, and they have to do that for you, and that's the healthy part about it.
But
that's what we want, you know. That's what you want. You want, because I feel like now it's been, there's just so much opportunity out there. Like the dream, the American dream back then was like to find, get a family, build a family, and build something for yourself. And I feel like for myself, like that's still what I want. I still want to find someone and like build a relationship and keep doing that, because like that's what feels good as a human. Like, because like I've had that and I haven't had that, and like having that, it enhances the quality of your life. And it's just like, why would I not want to do that and grow with someone and like, take their
you should like a push,
exactly.
To like, you know what, like,
you do want push.
Things are getting better.
Exactly,
things
you do want push around.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do want to grow, and like growing with someone that you have an intimate, physical, all of it intertwined in one relationship. It feels good when you can make that work.
Yeah.
Because it's like that encompasses a lot of shit in life.
That's the thing. Yeah, you gotta make it work. It's gotta be healthy. The communication has to be there. Because a lot of people do that, but they go into a relationship expecting that, and it's like you're half a person and a half a person. If the other person is not already complete, then it's a whole dependency thing. And then that's how like it gets real toxic real fast, and that's just how the rest of the relationship is built on that.
Yeah.
But when you're a whole person coming with another whole person, you're together. But now you're three people, because you're still yourself, but you're yourself with that person as well.
I like that.
Yeah, and you don't have to. You have to realize you don't have to sacrifice happiness for that other person, because you deserve that happiness.
Right.
No matter like what you've done, like you can always grow. Like you don't have to be your past self. Because that's what that was for me. I was back to back relationships because I was trying to find that connection, that validation, that someone would tell me that what I did, I was fucked up, or
you're a good person now, you're good to go now.
Or they would tell me like, no, actually it wasn't that until the end. That's what made me realize like, oh shit, you're right. But before that, it was like, oh no, you kind of deserve for me to treat you like shit a little because you did this to me in the beginning, or they held some grudge. Maybe it was with them, maybe it wasn't. But they still like kind of made me feel guilty, and I was like guilt tripped to stay in a lot of relationships. And then once I talked to someone who I thought on pen and paper, like she was like the valedictorian, fucking like drum major, soccer varsity captain, like she was, and then she's like so family oriented. And when I met her, I was
like a steal right there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But she made me love myself and realize, because I was down in the dumps. Like I said, someone who had just taken advantage of me financially, emotionally, and physically. Like I felt like I deserved that. I felt like I didn't deserve healthy love.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to come with a price. And then when I got to meet that girl and like open myself and be very vulnerable, like telling her all the bad shit that I've done, all the good shit, and my reasons why, she was still able to love me, and she actually gave me the ultimatum. And I was like, wow, if I'm able to get this, then I'm this, and my self-worth is now this. I won't ever tolerate anything less.
It's almost like why do I have to like feel so bad to have it change? Like, why can't I just enjoy this healthy relationship and enjoy this stuff and build it? Like, why do I have to get hurt to like understand? But like that's what it is that you have to get hurt to understand what you want, and you do have to hurt, because when you do hurt someone, and like some people will think differently. Like for me, if I truly do hurt someone through my actions, it's like I feel like shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I feel like shit, and you should feel like shit, and that's like how it should be. And like that's what you have to experience to figure out what you want and how you can manage a healthy relationship. Because like I don't think you can really just go and like I think maybe people like find that one person and stuff, but like sometimes that is a once in a lifetime thing where they meet that one person, they end up married, and they're happily they don't get divorced. All that that's very rare. You have to experience different people, and you have to just have experiences with each other. And
for me, cause like I said, I was always back to back. So from 6th grade up until a year and a half ago, I was in a relationship. Jeez, and so I was always curious, like how does it feel to be single? And so, and then while I was like guilt-tripped to stay in these relationships.
You wanted the single life.
I wanted the single
and
life.
So listening to yourself and like going to experience the single life, because you had that. It's almost like you want your cake and you want to eat it too, but like it's like that you need this step to like better yourself and like to get out of it, but you don't want to go through that emotional hurt because it feels so comfortable right now. But when you go through it and then you experience what you need to experience, you're like, fuck, this is what I needed to do to get to. This is what I needed to do. I needed to get this shit out. I needed to go experience. And as a fucking dude, fuck yeah. Absolutely, and maybe as a girl who fucking knows.
For both, it's not gender specific. Like I know girls who are living that too now. Like
absolutely, but that is an important thing that like you do have to understand that your value in the sexual marketplace will deteriorate if you aren't thinking about your actions are making consequences. So like let's say you're sleeping around with your whole social sphere and you're trying to get a relationship in that social sphere, that's probably not going to work.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. Exactly. So like that's the type of shit you have to navigate through, is that like if you do have those lustful
but I also think that you just don't know what's good. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
A lot of people like that experience.
Like some people you might have a picture of like, oh, this is how things should be, but like when you haven't experienced bad, you don't know what's good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Or when you haven't experienced good, you know what's bad.
Exactly, because sometimes you're like, you know what, maybe like doing this because I'm more attracted to her for some fucking reason might be good. Like
physically, mentally, it could be anything.
Yeah, and then you realize that fucking never mind. My connection with her is way worse than like, you know what I mean?
100%.
Type shit.
And that's exactly my thing. So with a very toxic relationship, like physically, we connected with each other very well.
Yeah.
And the one that followed after, it was more.
That's usually how it goes with those toxic relationships.
Yeah, of course. That's what we all experienced. We've all had that.
Just fuck, just leave fuck all the time.
And then the next one that I mentioned that was like valedictorian and such, that was more personality, but she was still very pretty. But then I realized I just wasn't as sexually attracted to her as I was with like the previous girlfriend. And then I realized I can always find both. Like I don't have to sacrifice one thing for the other. Like I can go out and find a pretty girl who's just as compassionate and caring and is smart. You know?
Absolutely,
Right,
absolutely.
It's just us,
and that's
humans just
how you
love
build
chaos.
yourself up. Too.
Exactly.
That's how you.
It was just a building thing.
How I talk about the sexual marketplace as a dude, like, bro, like as a girl, like, bro, like you don't have to really like. You can just doll yourself up, be a pretty girl, look, and like on the sexual marketplace, you're already up here.
Yeah.
As a dude, you have to do so much shit to get up there.
Yeah, you gotta work out. You gotta look good.
You gotta work out. You gotta look good.
money.
You gotta be able to speak good. You gotta have money. You gotta do all.
Yeah.
A girl can just go to the club,
Look
go to a bar,
pretty.
look pretty as fuck, and get a top high end dude.
Yeah.
And like, as a dude, you have to build yourself up for the sexual marketplace so you can do what you want to do. You know, not fucking fold into like.
But that's also assuming, like I'm pretty sure the guy who's up there, like that's assuming he hasn't experienced pretty girls already, and it's not like he's gonna fall for her right away, unless he's like an ugly guy who just doesn't get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's say one day I get there, I'm that guy, right? In my mind, I am already, but they're like in the like actual. Like economically speaking, like with money,
right.
Where they're like, oh, he's the guy that I should care about. Like, I'm not gonna see a pretty girl and be like, oh my god, I wouldn't marry her. I gotta talk to her for like a year to see if she's even like.
But that's where it goes down to like your actions, like like I said, in your social sphere,
Yeah.
if you do meet people that you like, you have to understand, like, in your social sphere, you gotta, like, take out some of those desires and wants. You gotta understand that, you know, I can't have all of that, because, like, if I see this girl and she's attractive and she's in my social sphere and I fuck her, but I really care about this girl, and then I end up doing that, you might fuck that up instead of, like, being able to communicate.
No, you might fuck that up. That shit's fucked.
No, not always.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, truly, it is fucked.
It is
fucked. Like, it is fucked.
It is.
For myself, every...
Always. It always is.
The chaos that's gonna happen, it's gonna come later.
Like, if one person does something, experiments, and, like, the other person isn't on that same page because they're like, this is enough, this is what I want, and then the other person does that, it's like, fuck, it's the portrayal.
So are you assuming a commitment between these two?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In my mind, that wasn't, because I now come like
when you have relationships with girls, do you like have a monogamous relationship?
No, I tell them from the beginning.
A smart man
like,
in his 20s, you shouldn't be.
I will kiss you, like I love you. I like all the things that I like. One craves from a relationship, like that intimacy, that emotional connection. That spending time together, picnics, you know, movie.
Right.
I still love that shit. I still crave that shit. So I will still do that, but I let them know that it doesn't mean anything more than that. Like, it kind of in a sense, like, you're not special, but without saying that. Yeah, I'm just like...
That's the mindset, right?
So what are their actions then? Like, how like, with what you've experienced, like, what have they portrayed that as? Like, oh, okay, that, like, I'll do that,
some
I'm
of
down
them...
for that, or like, no, like... Fuck no, I want you to be mine.
Exactly. So some of them will take it as a challenge, and now, but I learned that throughout, because I was talking to someone who, you know, very pretty girl, very smart, just like, you know, cream of the crop, and like she was, she expected everything, like she was just, everything was easy to her, guys, whatever, and then I was like the one thing that like, I'm just like, kind of like, you're nothing special, you know? Like, you're not gonna make me
fall. They want what they can't have.
Yeah, exactly.
They want what they can't have. That's just human nature. You tell someone not to do something, they're gonna want to do it more.
Like humans like chaos, bro. So like, that's why, like, toxic relationships are so, like, I like it in a way, like, low key, because people like fucking chaos, bro.
Yeah,
it gets you
it's
going.
fun.
Like,
It keeps it entertaining. That's why people like Jersey Shore and all that reality TV shit.
But there's just controlled chaos.
But I
controlled chaos.
But I think it's also
you don't want the chaos getting out of your hands and bleeding out and being like, oh, this is not what I want.
And so that's what it was. It was controlled chaos with me and that girl for a minute. But it ended up getting out of her control, where she realized she actually just liked me too much, and had to step away to like you know, not herself, to just not feel like shitty, and like not feel shitty, but like
no, I get
that.
What
you mean. She explained it very well.
I get that.
Recently. But yeah, you know what I mean. She was like, I can't keep doing this to myself, because I clearly wasn't gonna like stop doing what I was doing for her. Right. And she had to be realistic about it. She still kind of had hope that I would. And that's kind of how my last relationship ended too. The one that I said, like, she gave me the ultimatum. Yeah. Because originally she was to move out of state, get a job. But in the very beginning of that too, I was like, I'm not looking for anything. I haven't been out of a relationship since fucking 6th grade. So like,
damn,
I was like,
fucking minute.
Like, it's just a back to back.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was like a few months of fucking
break.
Yeah. But I mean, in the end, that's still what the ultimatum was. Like, let's date until I have to leave Austin, because we know it's gonna be a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
So why not have it? Why keep pretending like we aren't like just
so down for each other?
Yeah. And so let's have like these 3 months for each other, and then I move, I have a job, and you stay here, finish school.
Is there any of those relationships that you wish you still like continued?
So that's what I've learned. Like, with the one where I just said where she had to like break off for herself, it's just boundaries. If you're constantly hanging out with someone like every single day, then of course you're gonna build that emotion. If you're already connecting on the physical and
it's like expectations are there. Expectations are there because like we're with each other all the fucking time.
Well, like I said, even with those, like I explained at the beginning, like I don't want this to progress to anything.
Yeah.
But now, like I say, if anything I do is making you like question it, like second doubt it, like leave. Like I get it, or you don't want to stay, let me know. Like I'm not gonna, because I know it's hard.
Yeah. But
it's an investment.
But so do you wish you still continue that relationship with her now, or you're like whatever?
Well, no, I think
probably not, because it was for the best.
Yeah, it was for the best.
It's for the best.
Like if we were to continue now, I don't.
Like you wouldn't change.
It would be different.
Because you did say you realized. You started realizing.
Well, because I really liked her as well, and so that's the thing. We were just like, it's just. I still needed that time for myself.
Right,
like
right,
I had a year of being single up until like a couple of months ago. Yeah. So I kept leaning into my emotions instead of my logic.
So that one girl at the bar, that was the long year relationship?
Oh no, that was someone else.
No, because you told Jayla, I was like, yeah, that's my ex.
Yeah, no, that was an ex that was an ex that made me.
That was from like 1-year-old to 6th grade.
No, I had a relationship all at high school. This girl was very insecure, guilt tripped me like the whole time. And like even going into college, she was like, "You're gonna find someone. They're gonna like you, because like if they have a conversation with you and like just like if they are physically attracted to you, they're gonna like you, and you're gonna like them because they're probably gonna be a pretty girl." She basically called out exactly what happened, and I ended up cheating on her and then breaking up with her. But then this girl, like she I don't know if you remember her, but she's like very pretty. She has money, but she's very like traditionally like
dark hair, right?
Or very
dark hair.
Yeah. She's very transactional. So the reason me and her broke up is because she would like buy me stuff all the time, and I never reciprocated that, and so she felt like I owed her something. She's like, I do so much for you, and you don't. I haven't done anything, and she just kind of broke up with me out of. Like just randomly one day, and I was so confused because I was usually that one who would like spoil and all that, like my girlfriend in high school. But then like she came back, and then now I'm more brain over heart, and she's more heart over brain, and she gets too emotionally attached, and then that breaks off because she finds like this. I had. Like a NFSW account, like a Tumblr, like a horny account, basically.
Yeah.
I had one of those on Twitter, and for some reason, one of my pictures like had a bunch of likes and ended up on her For You page, and she just got very emotional about it, and it was kind of funny.
Is that For You page? That's the one they ask questions, right?
Not For You page. I mean timeline on Twitter.
Yeah.
And she like. Because she was just worried. She was like, she called me and she was like, "Are you not worried about like employers, like future employers finding this?" She's obviously sad because.
What was it?
Like
was your dick out, your cock out, or what?
More or less, yeah. It was like it was like thirst traps for sure. But whenever she came back, we're like, let's just kind of keep doing what we were doing, but we're open now, like. You do what you gonna do, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
She just wanted to fuck.
But then that's where she wanted what she can't have.
Yeah.
And that's where her emotions started overcome her logic.
Yeah.
But she's very, like, if I do something nice, she expects something back. Which isn't bad, but it's a balance. It's a balance.
It's not bad, but it is bad. Just because, like just
your intention.
Because some people are just not like detailed. You know what I mean? Like my dad is not detailed. My mom is super detailed, meaning that like she would spoil all of us, like no matter what. My dad is like the complete opposite, but my dad gets shit done.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So that's how he shows his portion of like love. It's like like
I'm paying
like
the bills.
I'm gonna
Right.
make everything work for the family. My mom is like, you know, like I'm showing my love through like me wanting to like spend shit
time.
on you. You
That's
know what I
very
mean?
traditional. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people are more
very
like
traditional.
like attached to their moms. As you said, you whenever you lost your mom, the family, what was it? The
Just the
dynamic, the
family
family dynamic just
yeah.
like kind of falls apart, and that can happen to like anyone when you're
Yeah, because she like usually the woman is like
traditionally
speaking, tying in with the emotions and all of that, and like growing the kids more so.
She's
than
there
more so than the provider.
Yeah,
She like goes the extra mile.
It's different
for everything.
My mom was a hybrid. She was different. She was the breadwinner, and
she was
the
just the
emotional.
ultimate.
Yeah, she was a successful woman to say the least. But like it was just different. It's just different. That's why it has to be harmonious. Like you have to bring something, and then that one person, if you don't have. They're bringing that,
like the other part of the puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it fits and it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's boom. And it's not perfect, but it works and like it's work. Like everything, love, all of it. It's work.
Obviously, work on yourself. Work on the thing that you're building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love comes easy, but then it's like it's hard. It's hard to maintain love.
Yeah.
Because it's that.
Like
it's an effort that some are willing to put in.
Because like if you lose that love for yourself, then you're gonna lose that love for the relationship. And I feel like a lot of people do that, and I feel like that's why my mom did pass away, because she stopped, focusing on herself, her health and stuff. And when women, if they're less, I guess, athletically speaking, like if you're not athletically taking care of yourself, women are at 33% more chance to get breast cancer. And like that's the education that needs to get out there to people. Is like there is shit that will speed up your process to meeting the maker or prolonging your life.
Exactly.
And like you need to navigate through that shit, because when you're young and you're kind of, and sometimes people fall on that autopilot, you forget like, oh, you know what, I am like, this is what I got, this is all I'm getting. So if I'm like not treating my body correctly, I feel like you can't really you're not treating yourself correctly.
You're not going to be able to
treat anybody correctly and stuff.
That's
so like,
the thing.
It's like if you fall out of that, then like other
mm-hmm.
aspects are gonna crumble, and then she passes away, and then she's over here taking care of everybody in the household, but forgets to take care of herself, the main person, who's basically walking. Like she's the person who picks herself up in the morning and walks. So if you forget to take care of yourself mainly, and you're taking care of other people, it's that like you lose, and then boom, and then you get a sickness, a terminal, and then you had, instead of 25 more years to live, you lose that 25 years because you fell out of that.
Yourself.
You fell out of that.
It's a distraction.
Balance.
Distractions,
exactly, literally.
That like block you from
family. Everything is all of it is distraction. That's literally everything is a distraction.
Yeah.
Everything. You have a goal. You have everything, and then everything around you is a distraction.
So that was my dad. He with my siblings, that he had like 4 by the age of like 22. He just immediately was the breadwinner, he had to be. And his wife at the time was super abusive, emotionally and physically. So he was also like the emotional support, who they just kind of, my siblings at the time kind of were like, fuck you, because she, like I said, the wife was emotionally abusive. So she'd be like, oh, your dad doesn't fucking love you, or like feels like we got you out of the trash can, like you don't deserve to be here type shit. So he was just having to work overtime, but like now he's all about like self-love. Like I have to worry about me because like no one else has done it, and I have to be happy. Like I don't have a lot of time left, but there's still a lot of things where he's not taking care of himself, like health-wise, that he could do better on. But for the most part, he does well. But like he knows he wants to stick around for the family to like live a longer life, be healthy, be able to do the things that he wants to. He knows that he has to like be strict with himself, with like diet, with exercise. he knows that's important to be able to live the life that he wants.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that, and then now they're 50, now they're 40, they can't even walk.
Yeah,
because
and then it's so hard to like pick up health because you've
So
had
hard.
years of just fucking
deterioration
on your body, and then you start to do something that used to be easy, and then like it is so fucking hard for you now, and like it's a defeating thing, and then it's just like, oh, victim mindset.
Yeah, victim mindset, and you just go, you spin in circles once you get in there.
Well, don't you think that people that like are like you said, like emotionally abusing and like just so negative and shit, just like they're like bots of the simulation? Like, how do you think like that? You know what I mean?
Well, they're always, like you said, there's a lot of it,
bro. It's competence, bro.
That's
literally
all.
It's just like how
like there's
like, how
different
do you get to that mental
there's
state?
different levels of consciousness, and like I think when you say like a person's a bot in the simulation, I think that everybody is a bot until you decide to wake up.
yeah. Decide to
You're a bot. You're a bot to the simulation.
Yeah, so like
you're a bot.
even with that negativity,
Yeah,
just
you're-
having woken
like,
up.
like a lot of
Literally, like you just have to wake up to that shit. Everyone kind of comes out at the same, like we're all human and we all have like kind of the same. Maybe someone gets a better deal of the hand, they look better,
Yeah.
they look shittier.
Is
But
it
at
like
the
that-
same thing, we all are human.
Is it like that one saying that when you realize you only have one life?
Yeah,
that's
Confucius
like,
is saying.
yeah.
You realize you have two lives.
Two
and the
lives.
second one begins when you realize you only have one life.
Yeah.
And like that is, like
It is crazy.
the bot thing, like, because like there are people who have done like a lot of DMT, and they say that there are people that are like just like bots to the simulation that are just kind of like going with the flow and stuff. And like I think that is just mainly because of how society is structured. There's just so much consumption that you can just consume and consume and consume, and just keeps you on a very complacent
Like you're
path.
controlled. You're being controlled.
Yeah, you're being
like a bot.
controlled. Yeah, like a bot. Like because that's how
'Cause you're not
that's how the
thinking-
world
yeah.
is set up. It is set up for you just to be like fall into the flow of things and just get like a fucking white rag washed around and shit, and people get spit up and spit out. That's why life is tough, and
Yeah.
you have to understand life is hard.
We're like a water plant.
Yeah.
We just so it
Literally,
creates
yeah.
energy. It's just so
And
we
you
work
can
for the
just-
top. Yeah.
Like you
And
said, that's
everything
like
you just-
culture. Like you said, the school system was built out like during the industrial time. Like we were built to be just workers, and that's obviously been just transferred to like everybody's way of living, just being comfortable, working, doing or whatever they
Being told
know
what to
from
do,
day to
just
day.
being told what to do.
Yeah,
being
they-
told instead of
literally, you go to
literally
school
being
to
told,
study,
like
to
told
be
what to
told
do.
what to
That's
do.
what I'm saying. You get told what to do.
Yeah.
You get told what to do. That's why it is like if it is a bot because they want you to be a bot, and it is true. Why would you want, as a financial standpoint, someone who fucking runs shit? Why would you want other people being super competent and being able to challenge you on that
It's like
shit?
the city of Ember.
City of
You
Ember.
never, you ever read the book
No,
where
I
like
haven't
the movie? Bro,
Elaborate.
it's like the world ends and they're like all underground, and you know obviously like society is built underground, which you can really relate to like
Yeah.
how we are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're born, and then like you're born to do a job at that society. You know what I mean?
That's
It's kind of
It's kind of like you're
kind of
born
like
into like a,
Divergent.
yeah. I was
You
just
know
gonna
what I
say
mean?
like
Yeah.
born into a faction.
So faction.
Yeah.
So like so there's like obviously the mechanics, there's
Yeah.
the farmers and all that shit. So like society works. So like so the city of Amber like works, and then people start realizing that like
It's like
fuck this.
communism on steroids.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, exactly.
Really, that's what
I mean
communism on
that's
steroids.
where we live right
That's
now.
where we're going.
That's where we live
That's
right
where
now.
we're going.
really.
They want to fucking.
Tax fucking everything.
They want to rip down what America stands for.
Bro, it's crazy that in China, if you're under a certain age, you can't play video games on certain days.
Actually,
Yeah.
they're super
Yeah.
robots. over
Yeah,
there,
Because
bro.
they're so
That's what I'm saying.
Like they're like families.
Well,
they're
kids-
just like
kids-
expect so
Kids
much.
spend so much time, you know, playing video games, and some of them actually make a living.
Yeah,
off
some of them
that.
are making millions.
And China, literally, they made a rule, or I mean, that's what I read. I don't know how like factual it is, but like I read that like they can't. There's a period of time. I think if you're under 18, there's a period of time where like you can't play video. There's like certain days that you can't play video games.
That's crazy.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
So they actually like I guess, do school or whatever.
So they
which
produce
is
like more of a
creating a balance.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it can work, but
well, it's creating a balance, but
it's
also,
kind of
what if you're fucking good at it? What if you're actually
that's the
like
thing.
you can make
If you have
fucking
that
shit ton of
talent.
money doing it? Like,
I think in that case you should be able to prove yourself and be
But
like,
then-
I deserve more hours.
But then that's what it brings. Like, do you want a more balanced society, or do you want more of a divide and conquer? Like, this person can, have their free time and go do that, but then conquer and achieve greatness, and then you have the other people who don't achieve that, and then they're looking at that, blaming the system, blaming everything around them, instead of blaming themselves. And then that's why it bleeds into like, let's, instead of having a democracy, have a communist state, and then have more control. But then when you have more control, they just push that line more and more and more until you have no control.
that's why the poor parasites.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
Parasites.
Like, have you seen the
That
Parasite
movie's so
movie?
good.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's because their way of thinking is just always
just
negative.
literally,
because they
though.
can't. They can't
listen to
comprehend
poor shit. They
yeah.
listen to poor shit.
Yeah.
You're around poor shit. You're in poor neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You're fucking on World Star looking
That's all
at
you
fights.
fucking know.
That's what you know, and that's
Yeah.
what you're
That's
in the
your
echo
world.
chamber of your world, and
Yeah.
boom, and that's all you're fucking hearing, and that's all you know, and then you blame the fucking system, and then you hear that as someone who isn't educated, and then there's like everybody, and then everyone's like mob mentality, and they're like, fuck the system, fuck the system. When then you sit down and you learn the system, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Why don't I go do the system
People-
instead of fucking blaming the system for
Yeah,
where
People
I'm
don't like
at?
taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Like me and my friend were just talking about like Howard. Like he goes to MIT, and he was talking about how he was seeing some homeless guy who's probably like barely double his age. But it's like, how did you get there? Like they're probably over here blaming the system when they like fell into like a drug addiction, probably.
And no doubt people have shit that happens in their life that shakes their world to where, like, there's this story of this homeless guy. He, 5 years, he just became homeless from his son, got leukemia, spent all of his bills and all of the shit that he had on the sickness. His son ended up passing away. His wife divorces him. Then he ends up on the street because he's just down on his luck, because life just threw him through the ringer, and he doesn't have that mental stability to understand that even though life threw so much shit at me, I still have to try. Because if you don't, then you will never, ever, ever achieve anything.
Well, think about
And that's
like
where homeless people are.
Well, you gotta think about like how you're saying fuck the system. To be honest, bro, you can still make it and still say fuck the system.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I'm
It's like,
fuck the system.
everybody-
But I'm just playing the system. I think of the world as like the big Sims game.
Yeah.
You know what's working. You know there's infinite ways to do so many things. You just gotta play the game instead of just quitting and just like sitting in the corner and not playing.
You can complain about the game, but you're gonna still keep playing. So you can want
you can be a part of the game and like
Don't
the
hate
cycle.
the players, hate the game. That's what I say. But it's just like everyone's hating the players and the fucking game.
Those
Like,
people,
fuck's sakes, bro. At least like one of them.
Jesus
Christ,
Take a side lean into it, bro. What were we just saying about that?
I just think it's just the excuses, man.
It's so many
It's so easy to just make an excuse so you don't
People
know
have,
anything
people have
about
better
it.
excuses. People have good excuses.
You can just say I'm tired and not do anything.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like there's days where I'm lazy. I say that I'm just tired.
Bro,
I think also
That's so much.
though, like it's okay to like just not want to go achieve like greatness. It's okay to do that, but like don't complain.
Yeah,
That's what it
No,
is. It's
no,
like don't complain. That's what it is. It's just don't complain. Like if you're at where you're at in life, don't complain, because then you can probably do some more shit to go. Just don't complain.
And that's the thing with realizing, being self-aware, and like if you're gonna complain, do something about it.
Exactly, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if you don't complain, because if you can't do something,
then fucking do it.
do it.
Yeah.
Can you do something about it? No, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, either don't worry about it, and then for the little
Like
things that you
literally though,
can,
if you can't do something about that, which is like how people look at the system. Oh my god,
Yeah.
racism is involved in all of this shit. It's all out to get us. Don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
Don't look at it that way. Why the fuck would you look at it that way?
That's why it is a thing still.
Yes,
because
that's why people are
still like,
because you have that
blame.
That's why
blame.
it's like, where the fuck does society go when everyone stops thinking like that? That's like, fuck yes.
And it's so easy to point.
Like that's like, fuck yeah. Like literally, imagine everyone stops thinking like that. Where the fuck would humankind go?
If everyone would have do psychedelics like at the same time,
and that's why it's like so interesting because we are living like just history, and if history's already played out, then like we are either going to become so good, or we are going to get so crazy and then become so good again, or just get there, and like it's going to inevitably happen, and that's why it's just
we're
like,
on the
so,
road.
like,
There is just damn.
We are living history.
We're always living history.
Yeah,
You gotta
I like that. I like
make your own
that a
milestone,
lot.
bro.
We are
Be in the
living
books.
history.
Boom.
Just
Tattoo
smack
right
someone.
there.
Yeah, hey, we're living
Hey, we're
history.
living history, bro.
But yeah, I mean, like the like the stalker guys we were mentioning earlier. One of them, Tommy, he was a homeless guy, and now he's making like fucking like $500K a day or some shit.
He started with $500, bro. He was living in his car. He said that
Does this guy do shoes?
What?
Does he do shoes?
No, he does stocks.
Okay, because I met a guy on the square, and he was homeless, and he's like, bro, I make $70K now, and he was just drunk as fuck, spitting it all out, so I was just like, that would be hilarious.
That would be funny. No, I don't know. I don't know personally.
He was in a podcast, and that's one of the guys that inspired me to like actually start getting into stocks.
Yeah.
And it was because he's like, if I can make it, everybody can make it.
Yeah.
Because he realizes all the excuses that people make, and it's like, bro, I was homeless.
Yeah.
Like, there is no excuse.
He was homeless.
Go out there and fucking just...
No, there's no excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's just, it's like, don't complain, there's no excuse.
He just says like, why don't you, like, you look, he's like, you look at my page, you look at my Instagram, you look at my tweets, you look how I'm living my life, and you wish that you can have that life. Go do it. If you wish it so much, and you want all your problems, or most of your problems to go away, just do it. Right?
But people just want it laid it out
just
for them.
Do it. Why?
They just want to be told what to do. Be
Because
like, how do I get there? Like, just tell me. I don't want to figure it out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a huge victim of that too.
Yeah, we all are.
Sometimes I'm like,
we know it.
I'm just gonna follow what you do, so I can make 50 million. But then it's like, no, you actually gotta find. They find stocks at this price, and then they tell us that when they buy it in, it already went up this price. And it's like that amount of money you could have made, you're not gonna make, and then now it just goes this high.
Because they're almost running their own little game too, and you're a player of their game, so why don't you run your own game?
Exactly.
And people
realize the game that they're playing and play with them. Because I realized I was like, I can see how they're fucking us, but you just gotta think like them and be like, oh, like
People complain to them. They're like, oh, I bought it at 93 cents, and then like they're talking about this stock that is doing really well, and it right now is already at 3. So people buy at 3, and they're like, oh, it's gonna go 5+, so it goes up to 482. And then it doesn't go to 5+, it goes to 482. And then he sells because he still made from 93 cents to fucking 482.
That's why I always thought.
And people make it to 3 and they get mad at them.
That Atlas, that's what I was saying. Like they have, if you look at their Twitter, they have 215 people following them. And if you put out a tweet saying, "Hey, do this," you're gonna make somewhat of a ripple. So they're probably reaping the benefits of what the research they do themselves, and then they're like, all right, now do this, and then they get an extra thing because they have a little army of people who are like, let me go
dumpers, bro. That's what they call them, pumper dumpers.
Yeah,
which the guy. So people are getting mad at them for telling them that you guys are pumper dumpers. They're like, yeah, but wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, if you're gonna make money, money off of it, either way.
That's like, wouldn't you do it? But like, realize that we're doing it. Like, we're telling you we're doing it. You're still choosing to listen, but risk manage. And realize, like, take your profits, stop being greedy, and go trying to get that 100%, get that 5-10%. Like, we've been telling you this whole time, because they have. Like,
they say green,
there's no reason for people to be blaming them.
If it's green, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Why are you getting out on red? Why are you waiting for it to go to red?
Yeah.
When it's at green...
Because you buy in that red, and then you just wait for it to go to green, get out,
when
and
it
then
goes to
go
green,
do that process again.
And it's a good amount of money, you know what I mean?
Right.
get the fuck out. A profit's a profit.
Yes.
Get out. That's still more money than you've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you didn't make more, but
if you, let's say, like, you make that $600 right there, you take it out of that stock and you put that instant 600 right there into a new stock or something else that is about to grow or about to blow up. Instead of being like, I'm gonna let it rise that 600 to like 3,000.
Yeah.
It's like, no, take that 600 and then build off that 600.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what that guy did. That's why now he makes fucking $500K a day.
That's what he's talking about.
He built like that shit like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't build it through COVID. He built it before. So when stocks were only going up 10%, 18%, that's it. Now they're going 100%. They're going 300%. They're going 50%.
And he already had the liquidity to put in there, and then it's just like, boom.
He just did it all, and he just said that it's just like. He just said it's just risk management. It's being able to just be happy with making $20 today, and then tomorrow you made 100, and then you
gradually
grows.
If you keep that percentage the same, that risk management the same, your rules stay the same, it's gonna gradually grow.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 20, 30.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, it's gonna be 100,000 if you stay true to yourself.
They even say they put the tools out there. They even say I'm even giving you the stocks for you to make money on.
Yeah.
It's just you willing to just get out at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's on you. I cannot get out and be like, hey, Twitter, get out.
Get out before it crashes right now.
Yeah. He will get shot. He will probably get shot by hedge funds and shit. They will come kill him.
Yeah,
if you do
an
that.
assassin for
No,
that.
they would. I mean, they are on like articles and shit.
Yeah, but also like, why would someone do that? You know what I'm saying? If you have to go put in the work, and you put in all that work, and you have to go do that shit, why are you just going to turn around and be like, here's the way?
What?
Well, because it's not that because they know a lot of people know the same knowledge that they do, but they're charging other people.
Yeah.
Other people charge,
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, this is what we've had to learn throughout the way, so we're giving you like, we don't want you to struggle. Like, kind of everyone, let's all grow together. Instead of being selfish and charging for their knowledge, they're just like giving it out there. But now a lot of people are blaming them because they're being greedy. They're not risk managing. They're getting in at the wrong time.
And this is all new kids that come in and don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, I'm a victim too. I've never had any hate towards them.
Yeah.
But I've been a victim of like not knowing what the fuck I'm doing.
Like,
so I don't get out on time, and I'm like, God damn it, why did I follow them? And then I'm like, no. I was up this X amount of money, and I was wanting more.
Winnings, like, take your fucking winnings. Like, if you won $400 that day, just be like, bro, I just.
But they have changed. To be honest, bro, they have changed so many people's life in a positive manner. You can see people posting like, "Yo, thank you guys so much," and they're like a million. They're like
because those people 20K. Are applying all that risk management and self-discipline that all these other cats who are just complaining are.
But doesn't that just show you that it's never going to be enough for people?
Yeah. Of course, but you got to realize there's so many dumb people.
It's never going to be enough
because there's always going to be dumb people, bro.
Exactly.
Like, there's no getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be there.
But that's why it's just like. What if you wanted a plan to get rid of fucking dumbass fucking.
Then you do the Squid Games.
Because
they go in there and then.
Also, bro, like I know this probably sounds fucked up, but you need those dumb people.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, bro, there's this thing also that I read.
But do you though?
Yeah,
Is it just do you need it for how it's structured right now?
You need it. You need it. What? You do need it because those are, to be honest, bro, if you really think about it, like they're the ones that are also putting it into the stock.
Yeah, well, that's just talking about stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you need dumb people right now because that's how the system is formed right now? So like, if the system just doesn't need fucking dumb people.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. That's
why, that's why there are dumb people.
Yeah, we're taking advantage of those.
So B students. So this is the thing that I read. It said like B students. So A students are gonna work for the B students.
Yeah, A students. Yeah, that's all.
And then like C students and C students are just like they either are like entrepreneurs or they're just like people that just work like production. They're like production for like manufacturers, like type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, even if you're book smart, bro, like
no.
You know what I mean?
That's what
It
I was
doesn't-
trying to
yeah.
say. Like networking, the ability to network. That's what,
So much more
you
important
take
than-
everything away from a rich man. As long as he's got his phone and his network that he's built himself, he will get himself
He'll get
right
back,
back up
like,
on top
next
next
day.
weekend.
Yeah,
Atlas
tomorrow.
Group is a network. It's
Yeah.
a connection that you're using to make money if you know how to use it the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you learn from like the mistakes that they make you make, because so you can learn from
They
that.
give you the opportunity to make those mistakes. You just
Yeah.
gotta learn.
You just gotta learn from
them.
that. And they say that every fucking time. They say, bro, the best thing you can do is make a mistake. The best way that you can learn is to lose money.
Yeah.
And
Like
that
I
is the
think
best way that I've learned is literally losing money.
Yeah, that like
Yeah.
it's all about taking that responsibility instead of blaming someone else. Just take it as a learning lesson. Like I could blame all my relationships, and I did at one point. I was like, man, like they're the
you
reason
blame
why I am
everything other than
the way I
yourself.
am now. But I took responsibility. I chose to grow. I chose to take it as a learning lesson. So now, anytime anything goes bad or anything goes good, I take it as a learning lesson because it's all about learning and bettering yourself and to just become your best self.
Yeah.
And
But it's a constant. It's always
It's a
like
constant
you never
growth.
achieve
You never
best
there.
self. It's like that's. I feel like that's what you never achieve that. Like people always think about like success, all that. It's just like you're never going to ever get somewhere in life and be like, oh,
But that's
this is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I was thinking.
I'm
but that's
here
the
now.
beauty of it. You
Exactly.
That's the beauty because
It's the whole thing.
Because you're like always trying. I'm like, dude, I can do this something.
That's
Now
what-
I can do this.
That's
And
what
now
I'm
I can
talking
do
about, like
this. And it's
cliche
like,
sayings, bro.
Fuck,
Cliche
it's like a
sayings.
ladder. Like, yeah, I'm almost there, but you never get. But you're so excited because you're getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
but you
you can't
don't.
go.
Cliche
And then,
sayings,
yeah.
bro. It's not
Until-
about the journey. It's about.
Yeah.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
It's
Yeah.
it's
and it's just
cliche.
like so, it's like cliche. It's
Until
just
you
so
die,
cliche,
and you
but
have
so
a great
true.
DMT trip. You know what I mean?
And that's why, like the part where we're at, like there is so many outside substances that can help you.
I think.
A lot of
like,
people
that
choose-
can enhance your life and help you and live a more fun and more exciting life. There's
And
so
pe-
many things out there that can help you do
And
that.
so many people know that they just choose not to, and that's going into pride. Like people, like my dad, for instance, just doesn't want to learn technology because of pride. Doesn't
Right.
want to take
That's
not
like all
handouts, but he thinks of them as handouts that people try to
that's
help
not
him.
that generation.
That's
It's
just
like,
generation.
like-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
like
traditional thinking, and
Yeah.
you gotta stop thinking like that. You gotta stop thinking just traditionally and think for yourself. If things were the way they were not then,
Yeah.
but just fucking
Yeah.
work with
yeah,
the
it's-
times.
Yeah, work with it. It's just evolving and adapting as
Yeah.
a human on what you have to like. What are you given and stuff, and that's why there are a lot of people that are given a better hand and a better card and have better
course,
opportunity
always.
and stuff. It's
There's no
always
stopping that.
it's always going to be like that. But if you're one of those people who gets a different hand or a different card of people, you can't look at it and be like, oh, what do you have? Why do you have that? And like, what the fuck? Like, I have fucking a 3 and a 2 and like the house of fucking kings in front of me, and you got face cards right next to me. Like,
Some people will work that 3.
like fuck.
Some
dude,
people will
dude.
work that 3 and 2 and beat that.
Exactly though. You're
Because
like,
like-
oh fuck, you know what? No, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna fold that and wait. I'm gonna fold that, wait for another hand, wait, and that right there just is like a metaphor of just like looking around and being present on what you have. And
Resourceful.
Resourceful,
Being
but also
cognitive.
like you have to know that what you're doing is going to. It's like a reaction. It's
Yeah,
like a
you're not gonna
reaction.
get that instant
You're
gratification.
doing
not
shit,
that
and
instant
then it's gonna
profit.
come as a reaction
Yeah.
later in life. Like they say, if you eat healthy for 30 days, you reap the benefits of that the next 30 days. So many people are like, oh, instant. Why is it not? Why not now? Because they're looking all the time on shit. Literally all the time. They have
Scrolling.
so much consumption. Literally so much consumption, and like. You just consume a lot of things that give you instant gratification, and then you're like, oh, let me go apply that to my actual life, and then you're applying instant gratification all throughout the board to your life, and you're not really going to that period of grind mode because you know that is what's going to get you out of what you're in.
Well, this is
Period.
Right.
Period.
Point
Fucking
blank.
period.
To be continued.
Go do it.
How long has it been?
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Yeah.